Hi everyone, this is Shannon Schroeder, F-Bomb Coach, and today we're going to talk about what happens when motivation doesn't come. You still need to make money. So today you're not going to wait for the motivation. You're going to get paid. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about a simple system to make money on those low energy days so that you can keep sales moving when your brain is tired and build repeatable habits that will work with your ADHD brain. Here's the truth about motivation. It's flaky. Bills, however, are not. So we need to build a money routine that runs even when you feel scattered. So number one, let's talk about how you need to stop waiting and start doing. Motivation isn't always going to pop up just because you need it. You need to build your systems even when it's not there. So as I said, you don't need motivation. What you do need are some defaults. Defaults remove choices because choices drain you. So you need to make two categories: low energy money tasks, medium energy money tasks. You decide once and then follow the list. And then you should create if-then plans. If it's 10:30, I'm going to open my money menu. You don't have to think about it. You just do. There is no decision, no waffling. You pick a thing and you go and do it. You want to reduce friction as much as possible. So you want to take invoices, quotes, DMs, things that you do repeatedly, keep them as scripts. Have templates, save them in a notes app, save them in a specific file in your CRM or in your email provider, wherever you need to be able to grab them quickly. You also want to put tools in view. If you know that you need to send invoices, make sure your invoice tool is open. If you know today's an email day, make sure your email is open. Same thing for DMs. If you're not sure where you're meeting people, have your calendar open. You need to have things in place to reduce that friction. The less you have to dig around and open things and look for things, the easier it becomes to just do. Number two, build your 20-minute money menu. We're going to talk about actually building that money menu now, the low and the medium that I mentioned before. You want to create a short menu that you can do even on a totally blah day. Set a timer for 20 minutes and then you pick one. So on those really blah days, you still know what you should do. You have a list to work from. So you need to choose what your tasks are that should be on this list. So low energy money tasks are things that require minimum brain power. And when you do this, it's important to set the timer. So here's an example. I've got 6 things on here, and not all these are not necessarily going to be the same 6 things you'll have on your list. That's going to be dependent on what your business is, what you have to do, and what feels like a lot of energy for you. For me, sending 3 invoices, that is a low energy task, but something like replying to 5 leads, that is something that to me is not a low energy because I'm interacting with someone. But it really does depend on what that follow-up means. If it's just boom, sending an email, that might be low energy. So when you have your list put together like this, and it's not specific, it's not follow up with Mr. Smith. You're just saying, I'm going to follow up with 5 warm leads. I'm going to reply to 3 DMs. And that reply is going to have a call to action, which is the money part. If you have them and the templates are ready and you have them saved, it becomes easy to go to the list, choose something, set a timer, and then do the things. Medium energy tasks are things that you do when you have slightly more capacity. It's not a total blah day where you're just dragging yourself everywhere. You have a little bit more energy than that, but you're still not like, oh, I got this. I'm going to do all the things. These tasks take more focus, but they're not overwhelming. When you have a low energy, low motivation day, some tasks like creating a course can feel totally overwhelming. You're not going to be able to do that. So you want to be able to have these things that do require a little bit more from you, but they're not overwhelming. They still feel doable. So, for example, recording a 60-second offer video. For some of you, if you hate being on video, that may not be a medium energy task. But writing and sending a proposal, you have the template there. You just have to fill in the blanks. It's like Mad Libs, right? Just fill in the right information and then it's ready to go. Host a 25-minute office hour on Zoom. If you have enough energy for 25 minutes where it's like it can be a group thing where you're just answering questions, my audience loves an AMA and Ask Me Anything where they can kind of just pop in and ask a question. That is a way for you to easily help your people and still make money because when they see that they're getting value from you, they're like, "Oh, I got that for free. What happens if I pay this person?" Here's some quick tips for using your money menu effectively. You need to use a timer. That timer is your external structure. It gives your brain boundaries, and your brain likes to have boundaries. You know when you're starting, you know how long you're working, you know when you're going to stop. You want to choose the easiest task possible. Keep the bar low because when you start a task with the easiest possible step, you immediately get that dopamine hit. Your brain's like, "Ooh, that wasn't that bad. I thought it was going to be miserable, but I got that done. Now there's progress." And that starts to fuel the motivation for you to do more. Number three, offers that sell when your brain is tired. You want to design offers that are simple to sell, simple to deliver, and simple to say out loud. So here are some fast cash offers. These are designed for selling, for easy selling and delivering. Um, Again, this is going to depend on what your business model is. But some things to note when we talk about pricing, more often than not, flat rates, flat fees are going to beat custom quotes on low energy days. You don't want to try and figure out how long something's going to take because you don't have the energy to do it, so it's going to take longer. It makes your pricing very fuzzy. If you anchor your price to specific outcomes, not hours, then you're like, okay, this is the task. This is what I'm getting paid for. So even if you have a low energy day and it takes you longer, you still know what you're getting paid. And if it's not the right time to do it because you really don't have the energy, then you switch days. You don't do it that day. When you're delivering these easy things, the idea of it being easy is that when you're delivering something, you're using a one-page kind of thing. You're giving them bullet point information. You're not writing a full essay on it. Use the same onboarding emails every time someone's joining, your world. You can personalize it by updating the name or something. But again, using those templates and making it easy on yourself is what you want to do. Number four, the follow-up flywheel. Most money, or at least a lot of money, sits in follow-ups. So we want to make this as automatic as possible. So we want to create a weekly rhythm, something that is a repeatable pattern so that as you go through your week, you can do the things you need to do to keep the money moving. And then you have Friday, you save Friday as a follow-up day. You're not doing any new tasks, but you're really utilizing that follow-up time to make sure that everything else that you've been working on is flowing the way it should. And I mentioned this earlier, having templates, having follow-up scripts. When you're talking about I want to follow up with my leads, I want to make sure that I'm moving things forward. Having scripts that you can copy and paste save you a lot of mental load. Instead of sitting there saying, what do I say to this person? How do I follow up? Create the scripts and then it's copy and paste and fill in the blanks. You can keep it in a simple spreadsheet, in a notes app where you label it leads. And that is also a way for you to be able to track who you reached out to. Who did you follow up with? Where are they in the follow-up process? Did you DM them once and now they're due for an email? Or you emailed them and now they're ready for a DM? Or however, whatever your system is, you need to be able to track it so that you're not straining your brain trying to keep on top of it. And number five, the ADHD friendly work kit. You need tools that are going to boost your focus without stealing your energy. So let's talk about some focus tools that might work. Something like body doubling, where you work live on Zoom or in a co-working room. You're not interacting with people. You're not chatting about things. You're just all getting on the computer, but you as an ADHDer can see other people working. And that helps keep that accountability keeps you on track. If you don't know people to do this with, you can do a paid service like FocusMate or Flown, where you can drop in and you're with total strangers again, but it's that accountability piece. Using time blocking, something like the Pomodoro method, not necessarily a 25 on, 5 off. Find what your time block time is and run with it. Maybe you're a 15-minute person, so you work for 15 minutes, totally focused, then take your break. Consider something like single tab mode, where you close out all of your tabs and just keep the one open that you need for work. if closing tabs kind of freaks you out, maybe use a focus app where it blocks, as a sight blocker where you can't get to the other things that might distract you in ways that you don't need to be distracted. And you can also consider music loops like brown noise. There's some other color noise, whatever works for your brain, but it's something that this is not about fueling your brain to make it happy and excited. This is about giving your brain something that it latches onto in the background. It's supposed to be kind of boring but steady, something that's there that is soothing so that you can focus on the task at hand. We want to talk about your energy. We've been talking about your energy this whole time, but when we talk about getting tasks done, we want to match the tasks with our energy, not the time. A lot of times you hear all the productivity experts saying, oh, take your hardest tasks and do them first thing in the morning. Well, first thing in the morning is not your high energy time. It doesn't make sense to do that. So you want to look at the peaks and valleys of your energy throughout the day and take your hardest tasks and do them then. You always want to start with the simple wins. Whatever is the easiest step that's going to give your brain that immediate win, like, ooh, that was good. Use micro rewards. If you know that you have to send 10 invoices today, but you really dread doing it because it's boring, maybe I'm going to send 2 invoices and then I'm going to have my coffee. Give yourself that little reward in between. And make sure that you've got a stop time. Like, I'm going to have 10 invoices. That is my task. That's when I'm done. So your brain knows when you're actually supposed to be stopping. Your brain likes to have those boundaries. Environment. You want to try and keep your environment as focus friendly as possible. So you might consider keeping a start tray, where you keep your laptop, your charger, your notebook, your pen. So you're not hunting around looking for things. Put things where you need it so that it's all there. You're ready to go. You don't have to think about it. Thank you very much for your time today. If this helped, hit the like, hit the subscribe, so that more ADHD women can find it, and comment and let me know, what's your target for this week?